On the night of February 9, 2004, a school bus driver named Butch Atwood was pulling his bus into his driveway on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire. He noticed a car in the ditch across the road, a young woman standing beside it. She looked shaken, but okay. He offered to call for help. She told him not to bother, that she had already called AAA. She hadn't. Atwood called 911 at 7:42 p.m. Police were dispatched 2 minutes later. When Officer Cecil Smith arrived between 7 and 9 minutes after that call, the doors of the car were locked. Maura was gone, and no one has seen her since. She was 21 years old. This is her story. Maura Murray was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. She had grown up in Hanson, Massachusetts, and was known for being intelligent, athletic, and ambitious. As a teenager, she played competitive basketball and was part of the track team. After graduating, she headed to the United States Military Academy at West Point, where she spent 3 semesters studying chemical engineering before transferring into a nursing program at UMass Amherst. She was working 2 jobs. She had a boyfriend, Bill Rausch, an Army lieutenant stationed in Oklahoma. By every outward appearance, she was a young woman with a plan. But in the weeks before she vanished, something shifted. On February 5, 2004, Maura had an emotional breakdown at her campus security job after a phone call with her older sister Kathleen, who had relapsed into alcoholism. Maura was unresponsive and had to be escorted home, saying only "my sister" when asked what was wrong. 2 days later, her father Fred came up from Connecticut to help her shop for a new car. Her 1996 Saturn wasn't running properly, and she needed reliable transportation for her nursing clinicals. They found a car they liked, but it cost more than expected. Fred planned to return later that week with more money. That night, Maura crashed Fred's Toyota Corolla into a guardrail near campus after a late night out. 4 days after that, she was gone. The morning of February 9th started normally. Maura submitted her nursing homework electronically early that morning. An ordinary thing, a student keeping up with her work. Then the day took a turn that nobody has ever fully explained. Before leaving campus, Maura told her professors she'd be away due to a family death, which was not true. She withdrew nearly all her cash, $280 from an ATM, returned 79 cans for change, bought about $40 worth of alcohol, and drove north in her struggling 1996 Saturn. She packed her dorm room, taking toiletries, clothing, school books, and a map of Vermont. She also brought along her favorite book, Not Without Peril, which tells stories of hiking misadventures in the White Mountains. She researched directions to Burlington, Vermont, and placed a phone call to the owner of a condominium in Bartlett, New Hampshire, asking about availability. No reservation was made. She also sent her boyfriend, Bill Rausch, a brief farewell-style email. Then she got in her car, drove north, and somewhere along Route 112 in Haverhill, she missed a sharp turn and drove into a ditch. That was the last confirmed moment anyone can place Maura Murray anywhere on Earth. What happened in the minutes between the crash and Officer Smith's arrival has been debated for over 2 decades. At 7:27 p.m., Faith Westman, a local resident, reported seeing a car in a ditch near her home. When asked about the driver's condition, she described seeing what she believed was a man smoking a cigarette. Her husband, however, believed he saw only a red glow, not a cigarette. This 911 call initiated the official police response. Bus driver Butch Atwood, who spoke to Maura directly, said she appeared shaken but coherent. She declined his offer to call for help. He went inside his home and called 911 himself. Here's where things get strange. A witness reported seeing a police SUV parked nose-to-nose with a dark sedan between 7:33 and 7:37 p.m., approximately 10 minutes before Officer Smith's documented arrival time of 7:45 to 7:46 p.m. Dispatch logs and Smith's described route place him arriving no earlier than 7:45. If that timeline is correct, a different, unidentified vehicle was already positioned nose-to-nose with Maura's car before police got there. The identity of that driver has never been established. When Smith did arrive, the car was empty. locked. Maura's belongings were inside. She was not. Search dogs traced Maura's scent roughly 100 yards east of the crash site, and then it simply vanished. No signs of struggle, no signs of injury. Helicopters, thermal imaging, and snowshoe search teams canvassed the area. Nothing was found. It was February in New Hampshire. The temperature that night was below freezing. Three main theories have dominated the case for over 2 decades. No single one commands consensus among investigators. The first is that Maura walked into the woods and died of hypothermia. Her sister Julie has pushed back on this. If she wandered into the woods, where are her belongings or her body? Extensive searches across multiple seasons have produced nothing. The second is that she planned to disappear. The packed belongings, cash withdrawal, and false email about a family emergency suggest she may have been trying to start over. But if she ran away voluntarily, why has there been no trace of her in over 20 years? There has been no activity whatsoever on her bank account, credit cards, or cell phone since the night of February 9th, 2004. Not a single transaction, not one call. The third theory is the one her family believes most, that Maura was met with foul play, that she accepted a ride from someone on that dark road, and that person has never been identified. The unidentified vehicle parked nose-to-nose with her car before police arrived has never been explained. The person Butch Atwood saw standing by the road was never found. Maura Murray has been missing for over 2 decades. Her case remains one of the most widely discussed unsolved missing persons cases in American history. As of 2026, no individual has ever been publicly named as a suspect or charged with any crime in connection with her disappearance. Her father, Fred Murray, has spent more than 20 years searching for answers and has been vocal in his criticism of how the investigation was handled. She was 21 years old, driving north on a winter night with cash in her pocket, a map of Vermont, and her favorite book about people who got lost in mountains. Where she was going, nobody knows. What happened when she got there, nobody can prove. The road she crashed on still looks exactly the same. The pine trees haven't moved, and somewhere in the dark, between that ditch and wherever Maura Murray ended up, there is an answer that 21 years of searching has not been able to find. If you think you know it, the world is still listening. Subscribe to Veil of Shadows. New case every week.